All right, guys, what's going on? Welcome in. In this one, I'm joined by none other than the Buffalo Jet fan. What's up, man? How's it going?
Doing good, man. Could be doing better, but we'll get into the game. There's some things that we like and some things that we didn't. How's it going, man?
Dude, I mean, yeah, same as you. Like, honestly, right after that game, I'm not gonna lie to you, I was pissed. After I did that recap video, I literally just laid in bed, and I didn't want to watch highlights. I didn't have any interest in the game. The Bucks Cowboys game. I was just shot. I was just completely out of energy, and I made the mistake of drink for whatever reason. I just pounded coffee right before the start of the game, so I was just amped up, ready to go, and no, I mean it was a complete letdown. What were some of your takeaways? Obviously everybody's pissed, everybody's upset about the loss, but what were some of your key takeaways from, yesterday's game against the Ravens?
Well, I think number one, the defense absolutely looked like a completely different unit from last year. All the things that drove us crazy, had us pulling our hair out last year with the 32nd ranked defense, they all looked fixed in week one. They obviously had a really excellent game plan to keep Lamar Jackson in the pocket. He was a not It's crazy. If you told me that Lamar Jackson was a non-factor as a runner and we were going to keep Mark Andrews to 52 yards, I would have told you that's a Jets win all day long. We did not lose this game because of the defense. They were disciplined. They had gap integrity. They were physical. They were excellent tackling. Big hits by CJ, by Quincy, by Jordan Whitehead. Sticky coverage by Sauce and DJ Reed on the outside. Both of them combined only allowed 2 catches for 19 yards. We did allow the big play on the busted coverage and then the big penalty from Joyner. And then other than that, the other score was set up by the Flacco interception. There's only so much the defense can do when they're not getting any help by the special teams or the offense. So Robert Saleh and Jeff Ulbricht's unit, I had a lot of questions about them schematically heading into the offseason. And to me, so far, one game being what it is, it doesn't prove everything, but it looks like with the new talent level on defense, I'm much more confident about this defensive unit than I was heading into the offseason. And then offensively, it's kind of the opposite. I know that we were starting our backup quarterback in Joe Flacco, but I'll also say this. We knew he was going to start for about a month, right? We've known there was the weird kind of situation with Zach Wilson. Maybe he's going to be back earlier or not a week ago. But I think all of us knew week one, this is going to be Joe Flacco since a month ago today. And there's a bunch of other teams around the NFL who ran out guys like Marcus Mariota and Mitch Trubisky and Daniel Jones and Jared Goff and Jacoby Brissett. None of those guys are actual starters in the NFL. I mean, come on. So then all those teams I mentioned, they found a way to figure it out to be in their game in the final minutes. So that's what I want the Jets to do. I want them to compete. I don't want any more excuses. We've been waiting 6 years for them to put a decent product on the field that is worth our fans showing up to the game. And it was almost like a Ravens home game in the second half. And it was embarrassing. And I had my wife, me and my wife, we spent like $1,000 to go be there to fly over. And I was telling her, because she doesn't watch football a lot, but she noticed that the Jets haven't been good. And I was telling her the whole time, like, no, they got all these guys at the defensive line. They're going to be really good. They're going to be sacking the quarterback, the offense. They got all these players. And she's just watching and she's like, what is happening? Why aren't they moving the ball? Why are they throwing the ball to the wrong team? Why can't they catch it? Why are they fumbling it all over the field? And it's a bummer because I've been going back and forth with the same old Jets fans, people who just say that, because I'm pretty optimistic all off season, saying that it's not going to be the same old Jets. And then for one more week for them to be proven right, it just it sucks. But at the same time, I think if we want to put our optimistic lenses on when Zach Wilson comes back and with his mobility and with Garrett Wilson looking good and some of the pieces we have with the defense being fixed, it's not that all hope is lost. It's just not the way I hope to start the season.
Yeah, dude. I mean, right off the bat, man, I'm sorry you spent that much money. Like the amount of messages and comments that I got, on the recap video and everything, just saying like, oh, I took my family, spent X amount of dollars, went and sat in the rain. It's just the fans deserve more. I don't think that's crazy to say. I mean, you brought up the quarterbacks. Let's take a look at the other bad teams, right? The other bottom feeders of football. The Giants, they won, right? They were a bottom 5 team last year. Houston Texans, they tied against the Indianapolis Colts, a pretty solid squad. Who else? Jacksonville, worst team in football a year ago. The game, it was close. Jacksonville was in it. They were in the game. The Jets never felt in it. I mean, Detroit Lions, they pushed a playoff team in the Eagles to the very end, lost by, a handful of points.
The Bears
won. Atlanta Falcons, they kind of blew it, but that game was competitive in the fourth quarter. I feel like I'm thinking about all the, I can't even think of one team that got absolutely blown, got their doors blown off. I think that it was the Jets, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, it was ridiculous. The fan seed, it honestly pisses me off thinking about it, man. Like all the people that made all the sacrifices to go, it's annoying. But one of the biggest questions that I was also getting a lot of messages about was the quarterback position, because Flacco, obviously we knew he wasn't the most mobile guy, but he was being rushed. The offensive line did him no favors. But I felt like even when he did have a little time to throw, it wasn't like he was perfect and just delivering passes on the money. I know statistically speaking, he threw for over 300 yards. He had a touchdown, threw it surprisingly 59 times, which is crazy to say. But I feel like a lot of people want to make a change at the quarterback position to get that spark, to show something offensively. I mean, you said it best. The defense balled out. The defense showed up. They were getting after Lamar. We had a couple sacks in the day, which was cool. Sauce looked great. Michael Carr. The Jets defense did their thing, but the offense just did absolutely nothing outside of garbage time. What's your stance on the quarterback position right now?
Well, I think that it's kind of been a talking point since the game ended. Was it Flacco or was it the offensive line or was it the play calling? And in my opinion, when you only score 3 points in a NFL game, essentially besides from a garbage time score, everybody's got to take some blame. So the play design, I think that we didn't do good enough job of featuring some of our playmakers early. Why Garrett Wilson only played 30% of the snaps is mind-boggling to me. And I think that, we came out with like 17 tight ends on the field. Like, it was like the 1958 Chicago Bears or something.
Right.
I think we struggled to find an identity. And with Flacco, he was under duress a lot. The offensive line played bad, but also he seemed to be like slow making his decisions. He missed a couple of late check downs, and there was no attempts to stretch the field. So I don't know if that was the offensive play calling, not dialing up deep shots. I don't know if the guys weren't getting open. I did see a couple times where Elijah Moore, Corey Davis are open to get the ball thrown their way. But to me, if Joe Flacco, the main reason why he's starting over Mike White or Chris Streveler is that he's experienced enough to make quick and good decisions, and he's got the strong arm to push the ball down the field. And if he's not going to do those things, or if the offensive play calling isn't going to facilitate him to do those things, then there's no point for him to be out there. And at this point, I'm okay to just see something different. Even if Mike White or Streveler go out there and they struggle, at least it's something different. With Chris Streveler, I know they're not going to do it. They're not going to play Chris Streveler, but at least he gives you some mobility. He gives you some excitement, and it would be something different, some juice. It's so hard in the modern NFL to win with a quarterback who can't move at all. It's so hard. All offenses are designed, and even the way blocking schemes are developed, the way offensive linemen learn to block, the way receivers learn to run routes, it's all predicated on your quarterback being able to move a little bit. And Joe Flacco just can't do that. So I'd be up for a change until Zach Wilson comes back. I really would.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me right now, I don't think the Jets are going to make a move like ahead of the Cleveland Browns game. I think it's probably going to be Joe again because, at the end of the day, it was a little wet. It was the first game of the season. There's going to be rust. Dwayne Brown wasn't there. Like there was some things working against the Jets along with all of the other mistakes, like Cager falling down, Moore had the dropped pass, Conklin had the drop pass, had another pass, another reception that was like knocked out of his hands on third down, which was brutal. I mean, that was a drive killer there, like right before the end of the half. I mean, what else? Brees, like there was just mistakes all over the place. So
Michael
I think
Carter had that drop in the end zone. That would have been a touchdown.
Right. Yeah. I mean, the list goes on and on. Like it was insane. Uzama hardly being targeted. Garrett Wilson, like you said, only played in had 6 snaps in the first half. Like this guy's a top 10. He was drafted in the top 10. Why isn't he out there? Why isn't he like a main feature of the offense? It blows my mind. But because of those reasons, I feel like the Jets coaching staff will roll Flacco out again. But look, if the offense is this bad and we score 3 points or 6 points or 1 touchdown or something like that against Cleveland, in Cleveland against, granted, a stacked defense, I want the Jets to make a move. Yes, I understand that the Jets are still rebuilding and we are not the best team in football, but like everybody wants everybody wants some wins, like nobody wants to go see another three-win season, 4-win season. And then to hear Saleh say, well, you know what? We fought hard at the end of the game. So,
Mhm.
I'm still annoyed for yesterday, but no, I think, or from yesterday, but I think Flacco will probably get the nod going into week 2. But outside of Joe Flacco, what's kind of and we're still so far away from the game, still got it, quite a ways. But what are you kind of thinking, previewing week 2? What are you hoping for? What are you expecting to see?
Well, I'm really confident that the Jets defense is going to go out there and keep the Cleveland Browns offense to under 20 points. I mean, you held Lamar Jackson to 24, and there's a big difference between Lamar Jackson and Jacoby Brissett. The Browns have a good roster. They run the ball pretty well, but the Jets run defense looked really great yesterday. So I'm still confident in that. Offensively, where I'm really worried is, the Ravens don't really have elite pass rushers. And now we're bringing in the Browns, who have Myles Garrett, who is as good as they come. Max Mitchell, he held his own. He played as well as you could expect for a 4th-round rookie making his first start. But George Fant was really bad, and I'm concerned about George Fant's health because he was limited all summer. He had the knee scope, so I don't know if George Fant is fully healthy. So that is definitely a concern. A struggling George Fant and a rookie Max Mitchell blocking Myles Garrett. That's definitely like the key to the Jets. I think if they can keep Myles Garrett from wrecking the game, they have a really good shot. I want to see more short, like yak intended throws from Joe Flacco when getting the ball out quick. And then when we do roll out play action, take some shots deep. Joe Flacco, I think, threw the ball almost 60 times. And I can't remember if he threw the ball like more than 15 yards. I don't think he took one deep shot. You got to stretch the defense a little bit. And I think if we can do that and then just make our kicks, we definitely have a chance. It should be a game that comes right down to the final 5 minutes, in my opinion. It's a winnable game.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, man. Like we got to take at least a couple shots down the field. It just felt so anemic. The offensive football was just so anemic. But I appreciate your time, man. I really do. And I'm also looking forward to hopping onto your channel as well.
Absolutely, man. We'll talk ball soon. Take care.
And all of Buffalo Jet fans links are down below in the description box, Instagram, Twitter, and of course his YouTube channel. Thanks so much for watching. And as always, go Jets.
Go Jets.